are going to make some delicious orange juice today, the old-fashioned way, the way that God intended, which is with this beautiful hand press machine. You can see that the way that I've cut the oranges is around the middle. It's around what I like to call the belt of the orange. And then you just place the orange face down in this cone here. And actually today, let me give you a bit more of, like, I suppose, an in-depth look at how this hand press machine actually works. This is the cone. This is what sits inside the hand press juicer. And it's two pieces. It's called a cone because it's a funnel shape at the bottom. Yeah. And then a cone at the top. Let's look closer at the cone at the top. The holes are where the juice comes through. You pull down on the lever here. It smashes this top part of the cone into the base. The orange is sandwiched in between. It gets smushed. The juice comes out through those holes to the cup that I have below. Sitting beneath the juicer, I just have a little small cup that fits under there nicely. All right. And then when this gets too full of pulp, then what you can actually do is you take it apart, okay? You clean it. You get all the pulp that starts to clog the holes up. You clean the cone nicely. This is made out of really good quality steel. And this hand press juicer is actually, it's only $50 on Amazon. All right. So I think it's really worth it to invest in your health, invest in having fresh squeezed orange juice. If you're used to buying orange juice at the store and you've never made your own, especially if you've never made your own with one of these machines, it's so fun and it tastes so much better, you guys. Especially for somebody, you know, like yours truly, somebody like me, who's on day 30. That's right, the big 3-0 of a juice fast. Oh my God. This is the longest I've ever juice fast. My previous juice fast was 23 days. This juice fast, I just reached 30 days today. I'm so happy to feel so good and be on this juice fast and have such high energy. Dude, I don't know your language and I don't have the slightest idea what you're talking about, but you still seem like a sincere man to me, so I'll follow you. Oh my God, Yavuz, thank you so much, man. Dude, thank you, honestly. We're trying to grow the channel. We're trying to get this message out here that, you know, the raw food lifestyle, however you want to eat, you know, that's your responsibility. And it's fun. It's not a chore. You don't have to consider it a diet. It's a lifestyle. You know, just put more raw foods like juices, smoothies, salads, you know, zucchini noodle bowls, chia bowls for dessert. Just start to integrate more of those foods in, and you're gonna have extreme good results. I see a lot of you guys popping into the live. Shoot any questions you have below. I'd love to answer the questions for you. We're just gonna hang out as I juice these delicious oranges. And look, they're already prepped. I have just a bunch of them just chilling, waiting for us to make juice out of it. Let's go. And like I was saying, this is day 30 of my juice fast, and I'm still feeling like a lot of energy. So that's kind of surprising. You know, especially when I hop on these lives and start sharing what I'm doing, because amongst like my community in my gym and my friend circle even, a lot of them, most of them don't know. They just don't know what I'm doing. I've gotten some funny looks because I have lost around 18, 19, 20 pounds. And so, you know, I know I'm looking good, guys. You know, eyes up here, eyes up here. But, you know, it's not like they're checking me out as much. They're just kind of like, oh, you know, they can see this guy's really changed. And it does happen fast. I mean, can you imagine, you know, it's not even a sacrifice, but let me go ahead and use that word. Could you imagine sacrificing only 1 month out of your life? You know, there's 12 months in a year, you know, times however long you live. Let's say, you know, you live 100 years, that's 1,200 months. It sacrificed one of those months, like I've just done, or almost, because we still have one more day of July, to invest in yourself, do a juice cleanse. You know, you start burning all your body fat out. Even this little stubborn fat right here, I noticed, is tightening up. Stubborn fat right there. That's all basically, sorry to show you my armpit, but, you know, sometimes guys store fat right there on their armpit. Pull up my pants, make sure I'm not showing too much skin. But, you know, skin around the abdomen, the abs, it starts to tighten up. I'm not trying to flex on you guys, all right? I'm not trying to, like, be egotistic and cool, all right? I'm just trying to show you that I did not look like this 30 days ago. I had a lot of extra fat on my body. It was my first stint of raw. And so, you know, fully raw, I should say. My first stint of fully raw. And also my first stint of being fully raw and plant-based at the same time. So I think I relied a little bit too heavily on nuts and seeds, which are really heavy in the fat, because you think you need them. You think you need that fat, that protein to feel full and to rebuild your body. All right. And then what ends up happening on a fast is you lose all the fat that you put on with the nuts and the seeds and too much coconut, too much avocado. And then you realize, hey, I never needed any of that stuff in the first place. Your muscles are still there. You know, some people might think that you're losing muscle, or even if you have one of the scales that I have, which is like a digital readout scale. I love it, actually. $20 or $30, well, I think $30 on Amazon. And it tells you your body fat percentage, how much water you have, you know, but even those numbers I think are skewed. All right. I think when you're like eating cooked food and animal products and you're all buff, your muscles are all full, I think it's full of water and glycogen, which is just from the carbohydrates. And there's a lot of body fat, either subcutaneous or kind of like around the cuts, around the edges of the muscles, that's just hiding there, okay, unnecessarily, because people are eating too much fat. All right. So, and the same with protein. You know, you're force feeding your body more protein than is meant to be eaten by a human. So obviously there's other things that aren't meant to be consumed by humans that make our muscles bigger, you know, like steroids and things like that. So what if I was to say, look, you're kind of doing the same exact thing by eating so much excessive protein. The body can only process too much, because to break down a protein and process it, all your body's trying to do is get it back down to an amino acid, so that the amino acid can be utilized by your body to build and repair. Amino acids are the building blocks of protein, as you guys know. So when you're eating all these proteins, your body has to do extra work to break it down. And that extra work is done heavily by the kidneys. Okay? So I know there's plenty of people who suffer from kidney problems and have to go into dialysis. And so they know that you're knocking on death's door when you have the kidney problems. All right? That's a big, serious thing. You don't want to stress out your kidneys. That's what happens when you eat too much protein. But eating too much protein is also going to build excess muscle mass on your body. Okay? So be it. You choose. What do the steroid pumpers and the bodybuilders look like as they age? They revert back to a normal human size. All right? You might just think, okay, that's because they're not taking steroids anymore. Well, I think it's not just that. It's probably because they're eating healthier, or at least not slamming as much protein all the time. You know? So, let's see, am I still on? Microphone still on? Good, 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 good. So when I lost that 20 pounds, even though I lost a lot of fat, it looks to the naked eye as though I lost some muscle as well. All right? And that's totally cool. It's because I'm not force feeding myself as much protein as I once was. And what's crazy, I heard this a couple times, and sometimes I feel like if you hear the same piece of information coming from different sources, it kind of like is a sign, or it's a synchronicity or a message to really pay attention to whatever that message is. And it's that, when people do this raw food diet and when people do juice fast, they get back down to their high school weight. Isn't that interesting? Imagine if you were back to your high school weight. The guys out there, is that too small for you? Did you kind of like grow into like a bigger dude and your muscles got bigger and everything after high school? Or for the ladies, would you guys prefer to be how you are now, or would you prefer to be your size in high school? Some people are acting like it's a bad thing. Dude, can you write your Instagram account in the comments? Oh, sure. It's just my first name and last name, Blake Herrick. Same as the YouTube. Just search Blake Herrick. Same as the YouTube page. It's just my first and last name. So hopefully that helps. I know you said English wasn't your main thing, and that's totally cool, man. You're totally welcome here. But I'll see if I can write it in the comments below as well. But yeah, guys, that's your natural size. Your body is pretty much mature for the most part as far as size goes when you're a young adult. Yeah, you can put on some thickness and get a little bit bigger and get a little bit stronger. Of course. A few pounds and stuff like that. All right. As time goes on and everything like that, but you're not supposed to balloon up. If you were, let's just say me, I'm at my natural weight right now. I know I'm going to gain a little bit more weight. I'm down to like the low mid 180s. When I start eating food again, I know I'm going to gain some muscle back because I've worked on building up my body a lot over this amount of time. All right. So don't think that you're somehow starving yourself or you're somehow losing muscle. You're losing mostly fat, and you're also losing gratuitous muscle, excess muscle that you put on because human beings aren't designed to eat so much protein. All right. And furthermore, eating so much protein is going to stress out your digestion, and it's also going to create toxemia in your body because while the meat is just sitting there, it tends to rot and putrefy in your body, which leads to more bacteria. Then the bacteria has to go to the bathroom, and their fecal matter is going to toxify your lymph, toxify your blood, your tissues, and it just goes everywhere in your body until you eliminate it through your sweat, your urine, your feces, your breath, the elimination pathways. Okay? You want to keep your body as clean as possible because really what does this come down to? It comes down to common sense, and it comes down to human intelligence after a while. After a certain amount of time, I'm 39 years old, not trying to act cool, not trying to act like I'm, talking to you guys like I'm your big brother or something like that. But certain things are becoming more important to me at this stage of my life. I don't really care about muscles. I don't really care about, doing these super intense workouts and what my PRs are or how fast I can sprint or, if I'm a really tough fighter and all these things like that. Because those things are damaging to your longevity. They're damaging to your body. And now that I've figured out my diet, I've figured out my nutrition, what works best for me, how I have the most energy, how I feel the best, how I function on, a regular amount of sleep, 6, 7, 8 hours a night, still feel great, is, with this raw diet, I don't want to go back. I don't feel like going back to any sort of excess protein sort of diet, cooked food diet. It makes my energy, I can palpably feel my energy going, a little bit lower, a little bit more tired, a little bit more muted. Do you want to be like the full you? Or do you want to be the you with the volume turned down? That's kind of how I'm starting to look at it and feel about it. And everybody has their own kind of approach to their diet. And one of my friends and my kinesiologist, chiropractor, Dr. Lance, his page is called Kung Fu Chiro. If you want to look him up, you know, he says just find a simple, healthy diet that works for you. And that's kind of his piece on the nutrition piece. And that's so true. I just think that some people don't really have, some people, they just don't know what that is. Or they know what it is, or they think they know what it is, but they don't have any strong enough reason to implement that into their life. Or somebody helping them. Maybe they need help. They don't know who to ask or how to ask. So reach out, guys. Find my content. If you subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, you know, I kind of do these lives randomly, but at least it'll notify you. And you can hop on and ask me anything that you want. Shoot a question down below. I love answering questions. I was a personal trainer, yoga instructor for many years. I've taught thousands of people. If you want to ask about what workout to do or what diet you should do, I can tell you exactly how I did it, because I was somebody who was overweight in high school. I weighed 300 pounds, right around there. You know, maybe a little bit less, but I definitely lost 100 pounds because I go around 185. So, you know, 185, 190. So, yeah. How does one lose 100 pounds? Well, I just started doing cardio, all right? And then I started eating healthy, a healthy whole foods diet. It's really that simple, okay? It's simple, but it might be challenging to implement. Zion Sandras, what's up? Hello, hello, hello. And then back to Yavuz. Thank you, my friend. I will send a message. Maybe we can have a nice conversation. I would love to, man. I would love to. I would love to. I would love to. I'm here for you guys. This is my service. I just got done working, I guess, kind of like 9 hours or so on my job. So, and then now the first thing that I'm doing is popping on this live to help you guys with whatever. I love this. This gives me so much energy. Sometimes I stay up too late after doing these lives, even if I do these lives at lunchtime, because it fills me with so much energy to give this love to you guys. It's needed out there. You know, the first place you start is to just start eliminating the trash out of your diet. The soda, the sugar, the candy bars, you know, the cakes. Start saying no to the work parties and celebrate this with the cake and that with the donut and this and that and this and that. All right? Start eliminating all that junk. All right? Eat any carbonated beverage, even if it's the sugar-free stuff. Just start drinking water. All right? Bring water. If that's too bland for you, I know some people who have, you know, really had some issues they had to get over where they have a hard time drinking water because they think it's bland or something. Put some lemon in there, okay? Put some drops of honey in there and then shake it up. Or some agave, maple syrup, all right, and some lemon, and make a little lemonade and drink that instead. You know, learn to have boundaries and say no. If everybody else is eating cake, just don't participate. Don't eat things to just go along with the flow and be a herd mentality. No, be like, oh no, thanks, and then that's it. Oh, come on, have a piece of cake. It's so-and-so's birthday. No, I'm good. I already ate. Thank you, though. If they keep pushing, I mean, you already said no twice, right? If they keep pushing, be like, oh, that's okay. And just keep repeating yourself. Oh, that's okay. I'm not hungry. Oh, no, you enjoy. More for you. Haha, right? You know, you don't have to make a thing out about it. You don't have to tell everybody your thing. As soon as you talk about something, like, oh, I saw this guy on YouTube. His name is Blake. And he's kind of goofy looking. And he said that, you know, I should eat more whole foods in my diet. You know, as soon as you start speaking about something, your manifestations are going to lose power. You focus that energy on visualizing and your willpower and feeding yourself. All right? And then build up that pressure inside of you. As soon as you speak about it, it deflates that power that you're building in your manifestations. Okay? You have to just do you and don't feel the need to explain yourself. You can confide in a couple people, but you can ask anybody on my channel, how long is Blake going to juice fast for? I've never said. I said I'm on day 30. People have asked, I've said, we'll see. I have a number in my mind. Go ahead and guess. How long is Blake going to juice fast for? You can put the number in the comments or ask me anything. All right? Have you had fast food? Absolutely. Absolutely, Zan. I used to be like Subway, Burger King, McDonald's, Checkers was a good one here in Florida that's just ridiculously good. Arby's, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A. I used to do all that stuff, man. All right? I used to have more cheat days on the weekends and stuff like that, even after I lost my weight. All right, guys? So, I've done it all. Like I said, I was 300 pounds right around there in high school. Used to, my after workout, before I lost the bulk of that weight, I would like just eat ice cream. And that was like my after workout snack. The cookie dough was my favorite one. I mean, you guys, been there, done that. That's why I got into this industry. That's why I became a personal trainer. And, I know the pain of doing that. It's like, here's my equation. Can you endure temporary pain, right? Here, let me move the camera a little bit. All right. Can you endure temporary pain, okay, to escape chronic suffering? I'll say that again. That's my little equation. That's my little saying. Can you endure temporary pain to free yourself from chronic suffering? Because then you flip the equation and you say, or are you the type of person who likes temporary pleasure for chronic pain? Okay? Because what ends up happening is when you endure temporary pain to free yourself from chronic suffering, you now have chronic well-being. Chronic well-being is the chronic of all chronic. All right? That's the real dank nugs right there. Is when you're high on life. It's when you have so much energy. I'll tell you a little story about what happened last night because we're like barely halfway through these oranges. Last night I saw a really dear friend who I haven't seen in a little while. Probably like 2 months, It was a little bit of a shocker. It was like a blast from the past. So happy to see this friend. It was amazing. Okay. This friend is a teacher, and they are on, how fast are you going? 8. Well, I'm on day 30, so you're going to have to guess a little higher than that, but thank you for guessing. And the friend, they were on vacation, summer vacation, because they work in like the education industry, right? And y'all know, like, school's out for the summer, okay? And then they went back to live with their family a little bit, for that amount of time, because they're like a traveling teacher and stuff. And while they were here, this person was hanging out with people like me, like my friend Jillian, who's also a personal trainer, yoga instructor. The people you hang out with inspire you. Some more than others. Some people really need to surround themselves, with people doing the right thing, kind of like this person. I'm blessed enough that I'm going to do this if I'm in Alaska. I'm going to do this if I'm isolated, in a cabin in the woods. I'm going to do my thing. I'm very self-motivated by the blessings of God, but trust me, I have my own struggles as well. So this person goes back for the little summer vacation, hangs out with family, slips back into everything the family's doing. Stupid, messed up sleep schedule, binge watching Netflix at all hours of the night, eating junk and garbage and fried this and that. Oh, you're hungry? Let's cook a steak. What? I mean, just absolute debauchery. Hanging out with friends every night, no time alone to relax and to meditate. Okay? And then the person comes back after 2 months. Granted, I'm on a juice fast, so I have a little bit of an accelerated like weight loss and glow up, which that will do. The juice fast will just shock you right into a state of fitness faster than anything else, guaranteed. Okay, so I'm on the up and up. Okay, my stock is skyrocketing. All right, your investment in Blake Herrick LLC Incorporated NASDAQ stock exchange ticker tape is going to freaking pay dividends and 10x in value, no problem. All right. The other person's stock plummeting. Goes from living the good life to living a life of insanity in my book. You know, I try not to judge. I just call the spade, guys. All right. When you're living kind of like a moron, staying up all hours of the night, binge watching shows, never working out, eating garbage, ha ha, he he, laughing with friends all the time, never having time alone to reflect, to think, to invest in yourself, to care for yourself. This person came back after 2 months of doing that. Okay? Remember, my stock is skyrocketing. Their stock starts plummeting. Okay? So before, when we were hanging out, you know, this person was kind of like one of the crowd of the fitness people. And then now, you know, we're kind of like right here. I was still on a higher level, of course, not trying to be cool, all right? But then now we're this far apart. My stock skyrockets, their stock goes down, all right? And just hanging out with that person was odd. No offense. And if you're watching, I'm sorry. You already know I feel this way. This is something I told this person to their face as well. You know, and that person feels like that they have no control over the vibe of their family and they just go with it. Okay? So let me ask you, are you ever in a situation where you feel like you're in a vibe that you don't have control over and it's hurting you? You're only hurting yourself. I was in a family that ate like freaking shit. You know? Zion was asking me, have you ever eaten fast food? I'm like, every day of my life growing up, KFC for dinner. Okay? McDonald's for dinner, Burger King for dinner. You effing kidding me that I grew up on that garbage? Luckily, I have good, strong genes and constitution, by the grace of God. All right? When I'm doing these juice cleanses, I'm eliminating mucoid plaque out of my body. That's the coating of your digestive tract that coats up just like a dirty, clogged pipe from eating garbage, okay? But once, I'm starting to get the bulk of that out, if not all of it. Now it's going into my tissues. It's going into my liver, my kidneys, probably my heart, my lungs, all my little muscles inside there, like my diaphragm and everything like that. Pancreas, gallbladder, okay? Getting out all that gunk. And sometimes I can tell because of, you know, certain smells, body odor, smells in the bathroom. And then my sweat is almost like viscous. It's thicker, you know. Also burning the fat off. The fat stores all that stuff, okay? You burn off the fat, it releases. So you might have these little hills and valleys of how you're feeling during a fast, or even if you're just transitioning to a better diet, okay? So I know how it goes. I used to live that lifestyle, and that's why I'm so adamantly opposed to it, because it was in my youth, and I try not to be mad or bitter at my parents. They were just doing the best they could to raise me. They didn't know any better, all right? They just thought whatever the advertising was telling them, that it's cheap, cheap to go get the dollar menu at whatever fast food place, all right? No. Your health is much more important. And then I got in shape, learned all this stuff. Over the years, I was mainly doing the alkaline diet, which is the exact same as the raw diet, guys. It's the exact same principles, but it doesn't really give you any sort of rules or confinements that you have to eat raw. It just says, eat at your own risk. You know, the more you eat cooked stuff, the more you eat processed stuff, the more that you eat animal products, the more it's going to acidify you. And if your body stays in an alkaline state, You're going to stay lean, strong, healthy, vibrant, live a long life, and have good health the whole entire time. The raw is just, the pinnacle at the top of the alkaline food list. All right, so now I just kind of lean more towards that. And what it allows me to do is feel like I'm getting away with murder, feel like I'm having my cake and eat it too. But that's just for me because it's worked in my lifestyle. It's worked into my day-to-day. To some other people, they look at me and they look at my Instagram. It's Blake Herrick. You can just go follow me. They're like, what the heck, dude? Who makes juice? It's 6:30 p.m. I want to be watching my show. Who goes on a 30-day juice fast? Who, makes salads every day and never eats out? Yeah, me, because I find joy in it. And as I'm doing this and I'm sharing my love and my heart with you guys, I'm imbuing that powerful energy that I'm speaking into this food. Love is going into this food, I'm juicing it, and then I'm going to drink it, and I'm drinking my own love back into my body. But it amplifies, and then it amplifies back to you and back into the world. I know that I changed my friend's life forever. That friend never had a reference point. They never knew that what they were doing, what their family was doing was hurting their health. And now they have those health problems that they're feeling. I won't say specifically which, but there are health problems. Okay? And now they know that, oh my God, the way that I'm living like a fool is actually what's causing these health problems. And it's in my direct control. Yet I have no willpower to stand up against my family and go a different way. I'm just going to go along and do what they always did. And I'm just going to accept my life that now I'm going to start putting on weight. Now I'm going to start having health problems. Now I'm going to start stinking. Oops, sorry, I said it. Now I'm going to start stinking. All right? And then my life is just I'm going to get old and be a chubby old person and have health problems and eventually die at a young age. That's the fate of most people on this planet. It's sickening. It should sicken you. I mean, I'm a happy person. I don't walk around like, oh, I'm sickened. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. People do with it whatever the hell you want to do out there. I don't care. But what I do care about is the people who do want to listen, and they do want to not just flush my advice down the toilet, okay? Along with their money on buying garbage food and medication and God knows what else. Okay? OnlyFans subscriptions or whatever. Drinks. Okay? You guys that do want to listen, I'm here for you. I'm here to help you. But you got to want it. I'm not going to try to convince anybody or chase anybody down ever again. I did that in my life too many times. Especially as a personal trainer. If you want to hire me just because you think it's cool to have a personal trainer, or you think you like me, like hanging out with me, so like we're just gonna be buddy and all that other stuff, like I'll be your friend. I'm here as your friend, but I'm not gonna take it easy on anybody or make any exceptions if I see you hurting yourself. Isn't that the ultimate form of love? Oh, Blake, you're kind of sounding like a dick right now. Sorry. Has anyone else shown you that degree of love before? That they care that much about your own health? More so than you? More so than any of your family has, perhaps? That they're willing to tell you you're behaving like a fool. Your food choices are foolish. You're slovenly. You're sitting around and you're not exercising. Okay, you guys don't have to be perfect. And that's what I say. I'm not trying to be like some drill instructor around here. Okay? I'm pretty extreme with myself. I'm pretty much a drill instructor on myself, so don't worry. I take all that drill instructor excess, like taking it to the nth degree. I take that out on myself. All right? With you guys, I just expect very simple things. That you move your body every single day. That you get a sweat on several times a week, 4 or 5 times a week minimum. Okay? Because that's good for your metabolism, so you stay lean and healthy. It's also good for detoxing. Okay? I suggest you eliminate the junk out of your diet. All right? Find an active hobby that you like and do it at least once a week. Could be kayaking, pickleball. All right? And then you can start getting more gnarly and more woo. All right. Then you can do something crazy like a juice fast, or you can, you know, do these revolutions. It doesn't all happen in a night. All right. Once you've made some progress, do a little tiny juice fast, like a couple days. Just try one day, no food. Maybe you've never done that in your life. Try it. Be like, oh my God, I did that. Now you start to build a little bit more willpower, a little bit more confidence and belief in your own abilities and yourself. Because I believe in all of you guys that you have to do it. That's why it was so disappointing to see my friend, because I believe in them and I know deep down that that person could have done what they needed to do to prevent what happened. The stock plummeting. Is your stock going like this, or is your stock going like this? Boom. Is You Enterprises LLC something that I want to invest in? Something that you would want to invest in and pays dividends lifelong? Or is it one of these stocks? Toss it, sell it, going in the toilet, going in the tank. All right? So it is in your power. Find it, do it, deep down, dig. When I see people sometimes, just, you know, I told you, I don't walk around like, oh, I'm so serious. I'm just like chilling, laughing, smiling all the time. But when I walk around, there's a little like alarm. There's a little sense of urgency. It's ding, ding, ding in the back of my mind whenever I see an overweight person, especially an overweight family with overweight kids. That's unacceptable. That's cruel. That's child abuse, self-abuse. Okay? That's an emergency. That's an emergency. In a normal thinking world where everybody was just naturally healthy and fit and never had to worry about their health problems because we weren't stupid, okay? Then that society came across a bunch of sick fat people, they'd be like, oh my God, this is an emergency. I need to help you. What happened? How did you get like this? Oh my God, come here, come here. We're gonna get you right. We're gonna put you on the on the healthy foods, on the juice. Yeah, it is a freaking emergency. Life goes like that. In my mind, I'm like in my 20s or something. I can't believe I'm 39. Holy crap. We're all going to be dead. Nobody lives forever. All these longevity weirdos think that they can do it the artificial way. Well, I won't go there because they've got some really sinister ways that they do it. And then everything that they put out to us is a facade. You know, the blood transfusions and the pills and the Botox and whatever else is going on. Fat injections in the face. All that stuff is a facade. These people can reverse their age with technology and with other sinister methods already. It's just being hidden from us. Okay? The real way to do it, the way of the Jedi, the way of, you know, love, to have longevity. What's up, Island? What are we making today? Oh, we're making hand-pressed orange juice. You came in on another serious one, man. Sorry, Island. Sorry, not sorry. I love you. And this is all because I do love you guys. You know what I mean? So yeah. That's all I'm trying to say is it's an emergency, and you've got to take care of yourself. All right? You've got to... I see too many single moms out there and too many people... You know, you think you're doing the right thing, so I'm not, like, gonna smack you on the wrist too hard out there. You think you're doing the right thing, and that's what you feel, so who am I to say otherwise? It's just my opinion, and we've all got opinions, just like something else we all have. Okay? But you're actually hurting yourself and your family both at the same time by not taking care of your body. How many overweight single moms are out there? I know it's stressful, guys. Find it in yourself. Wake up earlier. Eat healthier. I can show you how to eat healthy. It doesn't have to be raw. Okay? It can be used like, using beans and rice and stuff on such a low budget with like frozen vegetables, rice, eggs. Just get an egg steamer, a rice cooker. I can show you guys how to eat on the low in a very healthy way. All right? And that's going to get you about 60, 70, maybe 80% of the way. And that's what I did for 20 years. And I kept off 100-pound weight loss for 20 years just doing that. Simple. Baked potatoes, rice, chicken in the oven, boiled eggs, fried eggs, steamed vegetables, steamed frozen vegetables, mixed with some fresh salads, mixed with apples as snacks instead of the stupid granola bars or the stupid protein bars. So stupid, guys. How much garbage is on the planet because some fool decided to make a buck and wrap up a protein bar in a wrapping? How many of those wrappers are out there? It's just, we're fools. This is absolutely asinine. We live on woohoo world, cuckoo brains. Okay? Eat an apple. That's what I started doing. And then I figured out little tricks. If you're going to eat rice, rinse it out very, very well until the water runs clear. What are you rinsing out? All that milky water that comes out when you drain it back out again. Yeah, that's starch. What else is starch known as? Freaking glue. What does that mean? When you eat glue, it means it sticks to the inside of your stomach, the inside of your intestine lining. And what does that mean when your inside of your intestine linings have a coat around it? Okay? Have a coating around it. It means that you can't absorb the nutrients. It means you're walking around malnourished. And you're probably eating junk food in the first place as it is. That's why you're always hungry. That's why you always feel dehydrated. That's why you're always sad and depressed. That's why I always have headaches and migraines. Oh, migraines. It's the sun. It's the light. Well, it's freaking not. It's because you're dehydrated and you eat like an idiot. And you never go outside. And you live in air conditioning. All right? I can say these things because I was that person. All right? This is not a personal attack on you. This is me telling you the real. Iselin, I started to do my steps yesterday and cut off some of my diet. There you go! There you go, Iselin. See? There you go. That motivates me. There are people in this world doing the damn thing, like Iselin. Let's freaking go. All right? I'm here to take as many people on this freaking mission as possible. We're going to do this, and then we just get it on autopilot, right? Told you, I've been on autopilot for 20 years. I've just been subtly refining it, and I found this juice fasting stuff and this raw food stuff is really the way to go to start eliminating that mucoid plaque buildup, because now I'm thinking more of like a longevity. All right? But we got to get the basics down, and like Iselin just said, it's something as easy as the steps, because that's exactly what I did to start losing 100 pounds. Just getting that cardio in, getting the steps in, start at $10,000, 10,000 steps a day, all right? Then work your way up, and then start whittling the diet stuff down. Like I was saying earlier before she popped on, put away any sort of drink that has fat in it. Whether you get the cream in the coffee, that's, I guess, most of what it could be, like, cream in your tea, whatever, put that away. All right? Start sweetening your black tea or your black coffee with like honey or agave or maple syrup. Put all that fat away. All right? All the carbonated beverages, even the sparkling water, put that all away. Okay? Regular water, squeeze some lemon in it. And if that's too bland for you, squeeze, put a little honey in there and shake it up with some ice. Okay? Or agave. Now you've got a little lemonade. Okay? Like I said, all the wrapping stuff, anything that's in a wrapping, stop buying it. You're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting the planet. See how this is interrelated? Even that one dumb example shows you that the more we take care of our bodies, the more we create a demand for healthy food, plants and trees make the world healthier because it cleans out our air. Wow. Having manufacturing plants to manufacture protein bars and wrappings hurts the environment. Then the trash from which hurts the environment. And when you eat them, it hurts you. So do things that are healthy for your body. Anything that's in a wrapper, try not to eat it. Go master the produce section at your store. Know what salads and what greens and what combinations you like. Start experimenting, make some salads, chop it up. Okay? Get a rice cooker and an egg steamer. And try not to eat any other meat besides that. Okay? If that's too hard, do some chicken thighs, chicken breasts, whatever. Or get a rotisserie. You know, those are inexpensive. Okay? And then get frozen, organic if you can, but just get frozen vegetables. Okay? You can either steam them in the same rice cooker that you're making your rice, that you rinse thoroughly, as much starch off as possible. Or what, I have one of these, one of these kettles, one of these water kettles. Boil the water and then run the boiling water over the frozen vegetables, and it's going to heat them up perfectly and deliciously. All right? And then make a little bowl. You've got the rice. You've got the vegetables that you like, the frozen vegetables. Put a freaking boiled egg in there. All right? Or you could even like fry an egg on the pan if you want. You don't need to use any oil or anything like that. And now you've got like a little Chipotle bowl. They probably cost $1, okay, when you buy everything in larger quantities because you're making it yourself. And you can put whatever sauce on there you want. You can put like soy sauce on there, Chipotle soy sauce. Chipotle like sauce, like Tabasco sauce, I guess. You can do a Latin style, Asian style. You can do a little like, if you learn to read the nutrition labels, don't buy anything that has a bunch of ingredients, and then you can find like a pasta sauce, or sometimes the pizza sauces are the best red sauces, or you can just get tomato sauce. That's what I do in the can, and then you can make a little Italian version with it. It's so freaking easy. It's gonna taste good. Have your little seasonings, your oregano, cumin, chili powder, salt and pepper, garlic, onion, whatever tastes good. And when you eat that, it's going to feel light, but you're going to feel full. And your energy is going to start to flow. And you're going to have better blood flow into your frontal cortex. And that's your reasoning center of your brain. When you eat like caca, okay, and you have bad blood flow, you're not getting any blood to the thinking center of your brain. So how can I expect somebody to actually plan a diet or actually think the long-term thoughts when they are incapable of doing that? So it's going to start to turn you on. It's going to start to turn your lights on. And then you're like, oh, this is how I should be living. This is good. I feel good. Okay? And then the other thing for working out is once you get your steps in, join a gym that has a group fitness. It's a lot of moms, I'm a dude. I still go to them. I used to teach them. They're fun. You motivate each other. You burn a lot of calories. You have fun, sweat. Do that a couple times a week. Meet some new friends. Be around that environment. Like I said, don't get a personal trainer right away. All right? Do the group fitness right away to start. Promise you. Because they're going to try to sell you. Be like, no. Hold firm. That's a little test for you. Like I was saying earlier, when it's somebody's birthday at work, don't eat the cake. You don't have to. Okay? That's the next thing, eliminating all the sugars and everything like that. Okay? Eat fruit sugar. It's good for you. All right? And then common sense just starts to take over, and you guys are off to the races. You don't need me anymore. And some of my clients have surpassed me by far. And I'm proud and honored and humbled by that. You know what I'm saying? So that was my last little orange. Let's give it a try. Ooh, there's pulp in there. Damn. I love that. I love that. This is how much pulp was in there. It's kind of a lot. Okay. That's 1.5 quarts of orange juice, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to make that into 2 quarts of orange juice. All right. I'm just going to top it up with a little bit of coconut water. Boom. All right. It's okay to top up your juices with like either water or coconut water. It's really good. And you guys, so I got 1 for dessert tonight and 1 for lunch tomorrow. I can't wait to drink it. Tomorrow's day 31. It's the last day of July. Aislinn, you rock. Thank you for coming back. Thank you for being a strong example to everyone in the community here. It's so freaking fun. Yeah, just remember the homework that I gave you guys. And until next time, with much love, much gratitude, I will talk soon. Peace.